Welcome to That Digital Take. I'm your host, Tori Webster. This episode of That Digital Take is brought to you by Chatter's Hair Salon, proudly Canadian and your go-to destination for all things hair for over 30 years. Whether you're refreshing your color, trying a bold new style, or stocking up on your favorite products, Chatter's has you covered. And right now, they're treating my listeners to an exclusive offer. Get 20% off your retail purchase with online code DIGITAL20 at checkout. Some exclusions apply. Don't miss out. Visit chatters.ca and give your hair the care it deserves. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the pod. We've got a solo episode today. I'm so excited by how well received the Aaron Layden episode was 2 weeks ago. You guys gave me some really nice DMs and feedback on that episode. So I think I'll do a deeper dive into more guests like that in the future, people that are kind of behind the scenes, people that are on the production side. It seemed to really resonate with a lot of you, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you for all your notes. Thank you for watching. And to all the new subscribers that came from that episode, welcome back. And thanks for tuning in. So today, I'm not an influencer without some favorites, okay? So today I thought I would put some things all together and put some true recommendations out for you guys. There's not a place where I can really do this. I guess I could make a TikTok video about it, but this just felt like the right format to dive in and really talk about some of my favorite things in 2025. Some of these are products, some of these are experiences, but I just wanted to put them all in a list format. Just makes it really easy to digest. And if you're interested in any of these things, then it's easy for you to find it in the future. Okay, let's get started. Number one, and you guys are already highly aware of this love of mine. I always have it on my middle finger, so I have to switch it over so that I don't give you the wrong finger. The Oura Ring. I will do a deeper dive episode, probably all about women's health and fertility in a future episode and how I've been using my Oura Ring in support of that venture. But for today, I'll just leave it with the fact that this has been my trusted source in 2025. I've been using it every single day, and not only for tracking my women's health and fertility, but working out and sleep and all of the good things. And I just find the data really helpful. So if you are kind of a woman my age or younger, kind of looking to better your health or understand more about how your body works, I really highly recommend it. Oh, I should have started by this, but none of these are sponsored, by the way. These are just like tried and true favorites, things I love. Yeah, just organic reviews. So take it for what it is. Okay, the next. Anything David, I'm so sorry. The next thing, anything David Yurman. So how do I begin? I love diamonds. I guess every woman does, but I'm just obsessed with David Yurman. My little pinky ring is David Yurman. I've got a few beautiful pieces from them over the years, and I just find the quality is so incredible, and it really, I don't know, it sparkles. It really resonates. It makes me really happy. I will say the price point on these much higher than something like an Oura Ring. However, it just sparks joy in my daily life, and I just love it. So it had to be on my list of 10 favorites. Okay, next, fresh soy face cleanser. I think I've talked about this on the pod before. Guys, this is my day and night ritual. It's what keeps my skin not freaking out. I'm actually doing a campaign with them right now, and I just love when that happens, when a brand that I'm just so obsessed with, I get to work with them and do a deeper dive into the product and understand why it works and the science behind it and all that good stuff. But genuinely, I've put countless friends on this over the last 10 years. And yeah, it's just my most trusted skincare routine element, I guess, my most trusted product. So had to be on my list today. The next is so random, but very, I guess, niche for this time of year. We've been having really bad weather in Toronto. It's hot, and then it's cold, and then it's hot again, and then it's cold again. So in these really chilly kind of windstorms and ice storms, my mom got me on the Twinings peppermint and creamy vanilla tea. I don't know if this resonates with anyone. I'm like a peppermint tea girly till the day I die, but something about the creamy vanilla edition really brought my life to another level. And I think I'm addicted to it. I have 3 cups a day. There's no caffeine in it. It's not bad for you. In fact, it's probably good for you, but I'm obsessed with it. So I don't know if you see this in the grocery store. It's the Twinings brand, peppermint and creamy vanilla. And I know that sounds like it might not work, peppermint and vanilla. Somehow, beautiful, beautiful combo, really stunning. Highly recommend. All right, Tom Ford perfume. Again, I'll preface, I'm really sorry that some of these things are more on the expensive side, but I have to be honest with who I am, and that's a bougie girl, bougie bitch. So the Tom Ford perfume, the vanilla sex flavor, unreal. I actually haven't even bit the bullet to buy the full bottle. I think they're like $500. It's something crazy. But I have some of the minis, and the tobacco vanilla, also beautiful. So yeah, if you're looking to treat yourself or get a birthday gift for someone, some of those like smaller sizes are more affordable, and just highly recommend. They stay on all day. They smell amazing. Oof. Guys, I'm like getting happy about my list. This was like a joy boosting activity, like 10 of my favorite things. Okay. Hunza G bikinis. You guys know I'm off to Coachella in like a day and a half. Uh, the bikini life is the life for me. I'm trying to get to that warmer weather. Hunza G bikinis are so unreal. They're stretchy. Weirdly, they are one size fits all. And I don't like to promote that because I know that sometimes I don't know, there's something wrong with that. Like they really should do custom sizing, and more extensive sizing. But the reality is my friends that are many different sizes than me, we've all worn them in different sizes, and it literally works. So I don't know if it's like the magic of the material or what it is, but they're so comfy. They fit like a glove. They just lift in the right places, and highly recommend. Again, a bit more on the expensive side, I'm sorry. But again, maybe this is a good list for a birthday, or if you're looking for something special for a friend. Okay. YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss. Lots of words, but just know it is the best lip oil I've ever tried. I love the shade Lucky Moonstone. It's like a very light pink. That in combination with a little Charlotte Tilbury, ooh, like 10 out of 10. I was wearing it on all the red carpet looks that I was doing over the last couple of weeks. Um, so hydrating, not sticky, smells amazing. I like it better than like the Summer Fridays. I mean, and I love the Summer Fridays one, but I still think this one just takes the cake. And then again, the luxury of the bottle, it's silver, it's sparkly. Like, YSL just does it right. So highly, highly recommend checking out. I think it's like linked now on like the new at Sephora because I got the PR for it. So I was a bit ahead, but now I think it is live at Sephora, and it is chef's kiss. Okay. My new bathroom, more niche, more of a niche experience. But this is on my list of 10 favorites today because my bathroom is done, and it was really designed for me. It was designed for very specific needs, designed for filming, designed for storage, for lots of makeup and skincare products, designed for makeup application, and just every single item was done to perfection. The marble that I chose, I'm so happy with. The lighting fixtures are so beautiful. It kind of feels like Soho House. Everything's on a dimmer. Like you can have it chic at night. It's just really sparking joy. So I wanted to shout out my designer because they're actually a Toronto company. They're called Dweller. And if you are in a smaller space, they kind of specialize in like condos, more affordable redesign. They basically just take on smaller projects. Like a lot of designers want like these very high scale, intense involvement in your redesigns. Dweller is like meant for kind of that Toronto condo liver that just wants Toronto condo liver that wants to just make some small upgrades. So that's what I did. I repainted. I took out the small cabinet that was there and the small sink that was there, and then I just really kind of only changed maybe 60% of the bathroom. Like I didn't touch the shower, anything like that. And they just helped me so much. Like their design choices were so beautiful. And again, like we chose more affordable options where we could. Like some of the items were like H&M Home, Zara Home, like all of this good stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to shout them out. Dweller, look them up. Highly recommend their team. Tara, the lead designer there, is just immaculate, and I love her. So had to shout them out. I'm very happy getting ready in my new bathroom every morning. Okay. Pilates. I think I've talked about this on the pod before. I'm a Pilates girly through and through. I love Pilates. That and walking are probably my wellness. I won't say secrets because it's not a secret. My wellness routine. Like those are the things where you know how they say like find a workout you love and you can really stick to it. That's what it's been like for me with Pilates and walking. Those are the things that I don't feel like I'm being forced to do. It doesn't doesn't throw me off in a day to like have Pilates on the docket and go and head in. So once I kind of found that routine where I found a workout I actually enjoy, I've stuck to it. So I go to Strong Pilates. There's a few locations around Toronto. And what I love about Strong is that it's a combination of not only reformer Pilates, which everybody knows and loves, but it also has cardio in the front. So there's either a bike or a rower. And then that means you get to do a cardio workout in combination with your reformer workout, which is amazing. And then not only that, but then there's also days where they focus on strength, and that means they do weights as well. So I just love it. It's a 360, very well-rounded workout. You have cardio, you have weightlifting, and you have strength training on your Pilates reformer. So I just think if you're getting it all in one place, even better. And the people, Ashley, who owns the studio, incredible. The people who teach all the classes, incredible. Can't say enough good things. I love going there, so it had to be on my list. And finally, number 10, Hey You. Okay, I know I'm really delayed to the love of the reality TV streaming, but I just have to shout out Hey You because I have been rewatching all of the old Kardashian episodes, and they have revived hope for me, okay? In a way that I didn't know I needed to be revived. Kim Kardashian started keeping up with the Kardashians at 27 years old. And I said, oh my God, it's just the beginning for me. I thought I was aging out. I thought I was at the end of my rope. I thought that my career has, peaked and I'm just living in the glory days. No, my life hasn't even began. She started the show at 27. I was like, oh my God. So now I've just been in this major rewatch from season 1. God, there's like 20 seasons to binge through. But Hey You, I love you for having all of the seasons, the throwbacks, the memories, the early 2000s lore. It's making me very, very, very happy. So love you, mean it, Hey You. Okay. There is no easy transition now into my topic for the week. You would think that I would have a bit more of a through line. Unfortunately, no. But what I will say is that I was on a press trip recently and I was chatting with a couple young and emerging creators. And again, I always say this to you guys, like the things that I run into in my day-to-day life is kind of what usually inspires my episodes and the direction I like to take the pod. And I realized in chatting to some of these emerging creators, and I always knew this, but I think to really see it up front and close and up front at a dinner table, is that they really have no sense of when is the time to get a team, when is the time to hire a manager, when is the time to work with an agent, when is the time to expand their business. And as someone that has been in this for 10 years and someone that has had many agents and many managers, I realized maybe how much insight I have into this. So if you get to a place where you're thinking to yourself, I need help, but I'm scared to give up control, like that's the phase you're in, maybe this episode will resonate with you. So the topic of the week is managers and agents and agencies, what every creator needs to know before signing with one. And again, this was sparked from chatting with some young creators that I think I just saw some red flags and some things that they were doing that I felt lucky that I could sit with them and say, hey, I might urge you to look at this differently, or I might, tell you to look into this deeper, or make sure that your contract says this, this, and this. So that's where this episode came from, and onward we go. So to give you some context, let's say you've hit like 50 or 100K followers, all right? You're starting to get consistent brand deals, you're working, and your inbox is starting to look a little crazy. It's wild out there. You think to yourself, okay, is it time for a manager? Like, is this now the time where I begin to outsource and rely on someone else? Or on the reverse, are you better off solo? So in this week, I really want to break down the good, the bad, and then potentially the business moves when it comes to bringing someone on to represent your brand. Because ultimately, that's what this is, right? This is someone coming on that is now going to represent you and represent your brand, both on email format, on the phone, and potentially even in person if they're with you on shoots. I guess this was also a little bit inspired by my Kardashians rewatch now that I am trying to think of the through line of this, because Kris Jenner does such on the reverse, Kris Jenner does a really bad job at the very beginning of the show of being Kim's manager. But then we see over the seasons how she begins to actually be an incredible manager and how she shapes her way as a manager to really get Kim's career to the next level. So I think also watching that evolution, because now I'm on like season 4 or 5, watching season 1 to 5 and seeing Chris's evolution as a manager potentially also inspired this. All right, number 1. When is it actually time to get a manager? You should be able to check all of these things off before you even explore it. 1, you're consistently making 4 to 5 figures per month in brand deals. So you are booked, you are busy, you are swamped. It's getting hard to manage. 2, you are literally turning down work because you don't have the bandwidth to negotiate. Like you can't get into your emails and get back to people soon enough. You can't actively keep track of all the deal memos and all of the contracts. You're losing track. All right. 3, your admin workload is taking away from your creativity. So you're sitting there at the end of the day, you're stuck on your computer, you're stuck invoicing, you're stuck doing all of those very tedious tasks as opposed to actually creating content. 4, you want to scale and not just maintain where you're at. And then finally, 5, if your inbox is starting to feel like that is your full-time job. If you check all of those things off, that is a sign that it is likely time for you to have a manager or an agent. Okay. 2, here's the differentiation. What does it actually mean to have a manager versus an agent? And I think a lot of people are curious about this. There are differences. The first, a manager really deals with your day-to-day deal negotiation. They are there for relationship building. They are there for your brand strategy. They're kind of like a glorified assistant. I don't really want to say that, but kind of like a glorified assistant, okay? So they're kind of dealing with the day-to-day flow, taking on those deals, and really just making sure you feel comfortable with everything. For a Kris Jenner example, like be there the day on set to make sure that your client feels comfortable. She was there cheering Kim on. Yay, you're doing amazing, sweetie. All that good stuff. That's the role of the manager. Okay, now an agent. An agent is typically focused on securing new deals. So this is about new business outreach, and especially when it comes to talent agencies, they might just have specific brand Rolodexes, okay? So they're really out there doing the outreach, trying to get you new jobs. Agents or agencies often work with multiple talent, okay? So that means like it's not just you. Okay. Managers usually have smaller teams because they're really dealing with that day to day, but agents tend to have larger rosters and they're really trying to pitch you and get you that new work. Now, here's the thing. There are hybrid models. Many creators now have both managers and publicists and managers and financial advisors. I know that's a lot of roles. That seems very, very, very overwhelming, but let's peel it back a little bit. And this is where my conversation stemmed with some of the younger creators that I met over the last couple of weeks. A lot of young creators don't know the standards in the industry. The standard is twofold. 1, it is standard in LA and in Hollywood and in the kerfuffle of the industry to give away 25%. 10% to a manager, 10% to an agent, and 5% to a lawyer. That is normal. That is most deals, okay? On top of that, part 2 of that is that most reputable agents, especially those in Hollywood, Los Angeles, New York, are all based on a handshake deal, okay? So it's not about you signing a contract or signing away your name and likeness and signing away all your rights. Most are, let's work together until this is not working anymore, and then let's part ways. And based on experience, the parting ways, even based on a handshake deal, is very peaceful. And that is the way it is done with most reputable agents. So that is what I want to really kind of shout home today is if you have people approaching you that are saying, yeah, we're going to take 20%, but here's a 13-page contract and you need to sign this in order to move on, like move into our Rolodex, I'd be like, red flag, which brings me into the next topic, which is red flags to watch out for. Okay. So that's obviously one of them and a huge one. If you're being asked to sign away anything, name, likeness, deals for the next 3 years, big red flag, especially in Canada. Like I highly recommend not signing deals like that. It's just not great for business. Okay. Another red flag, taking more than 20% commission. Honestly, in Canada, I think 15 is fair, but everything is always negotiable. Just keep that in mind. I don't even know if it's worth saying, but like, I guess so. There's even ways where it can be built where once they make you a certain amount of money, they take a different percentage. So I think just being really strategic about how you're negotiating what that deal looks like can really help you and also protect you. This is ultimately about protection. All right. The second, a lack of transparency. And this is huge, huge, especially with agencies that are not reputable and agencies that are sketchy and up to some dirty business. Okay. They hide things from you, they hide contracts, they take you off email CC. And this ultimately means you are losing track of those relationships. It means that when the brand reaches out to your agent, yeah, sure, your agent has a great relationship with that new brand, but now you're completely removed from the conversation. You're no longer connected. And then when you need something in the future, they are no longer a part of your network. So be very careful about anyone that says, oh no, we're going to deal with all the incoming work, but we're going to remove you off CC. Red flag, in my opinion. Also, not just my opinion. This is like industry standard. Okay. The next, lock in contracts without an exit clause. So if an agent is locking you into work and not giving you a way out of it, red flag, okay? Weird. Just think to yourself, why would they want this? Why are they doing things in their best benefit? The next, not understanding your niche or long-term vision. If you feel like your manager doesn't understand you, doesn't understand where you're going, doesn't understand potentially your strengths, your pitfalls, that's not the right team member for you. Be real with yourself. Like if you are giving up 15 or 20% of your commission or of your earnings, it better be worth it, okay? Pushing you to accept deals just for the paycheck. It's real. I've seen it. If they care more about your rate than your brand alignment, again, red flag. And like I mentioned, just a final reiteration, the handshake deal is very much the standard versus signing a contract with an agency. So just be very wary when people are offering you lengthy contracts. Okay, the next topic. How to vet a potential manager. So let's say you go through all the red flags. You're like, no, Tori, they're amazing. I love them. I want to work with them. Fantastic. I love this for you. Ask for case studies or references. Make sure you understand who they've worked with before. Ask other clients who have worked with them how they work and what their kind of banter is like on email. How do they present themselves? Are they fast to respond? Like, what are the standards that you're expecting? Okay. Check out who else they represent, which is under that same pillar. And do those creators have similar vibes and niches to you? In some ways, that can be a good thing if they have a similar vibe, but in some ways, that can also be bad because if a brand deal is going to go to that person, it may not go to you. But again, there is enough work for everyone. Like, we don't need to have scarcity mindset here, but I think just being strategic about what types of creators they represent is important to know. Finally, are those creators actually working? Sure, they could represent cool people, but if those people are not actually bringing in dollar bills, then I'm not really interested, right? Like you want to be in a high echelon, in a pool of people that are constantly working, doing cool work, high level work. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would want, right? So you just have to be really strategic about who they're working with and what type of work they're actually doing. I do recommend doing a test or a trial period, and maybe you work out a few deals before you actually lock in anything with them. You just say, hey, I'll let you close the next 3 deals for me. Let's see if you can get me more money, make some better contract changes, increase the deliverables, whatever it might be. See how they work with you. And then after those 3 to 5 deals, you say, okay, yeah, let's do something more long-term. Again, handshake deal, I'll work with you until I'm not happy. And then we'll see how it is. I do recommend you ask how they handle their communication. So whether that's through Slack, emails, do they do weekly touch bases with clients? Do they do daily touch bases? What is their like comms like? And what is their daily routine when it comes to client management? Again, I know this is very, very nitty gritty, but this is the stuff you have to care about if you're handing over your earnings, right? Like it's serious. And I think people kind of play it down a little bit. And then they end up in these really shitty deals and they're like, oh, Tori. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. Okay, clarify your boundaries. Are they handling just brand deals or is it more? Again, things can get blurry very quickly. If it's just brand deals, amazing. Be very clear about that. What if you end up in a commercial? Are they going to be managing and taking 10% of anything that happens on screen as well? I think you just have to set your standards, set your precedences, set your boundaries, and just be a clear communicator. All right. And then finally, what a healthy manager creator relationship should look like. So we've talked about the red flags, but what should this actually feel like when things are going well? Well, one, feels like a business partnership, not this weird power imbalance. And as someone that grew up as a child actor, I can speak to this power imbalance very clearly because I was a kid when I got started and I always felt that sense of, oh my God, my agent's calling, and you have that like terror in your eyes, which is so funny. But it's true. Like, as an adult or where you are at as a creator, you should not feel a sense of power imbalance. Ultimately, they work for you. You can't forget that. My dad always said that to me. They work for you. You can't bow down to what they want. This is ultimately your brand, your business. You protect that. But what else makes a good feeling? You're still in control of your brand and the manager just executes. They're just helping you execute. They don't override your opinions. They just help you get to the finish line. They champion your long-term goals. So they're pitching you for those longer-term brand ambassadorships or bigger campaigns. And they want to see you grow and they want to grow with you. And they're there to incentivize you and to help you scale up. So these are all things that would mean you're in a great partnership with your manager. A good manager doesn't just land you deals, they protect your time and they help you expand your vision. Now, just to end this episode, I have talked about this on previous episodes, but I do want to give a little bit of personal insight or case study from my perspective because I do understand that there are times where people will look at me and say, oh, like you should have a manager. Why do you not have a manager? For me, and I've been very clear with this from the beginning, I actually enjoy the business side of things. And that's where I think I differ from a lot of the creators in my network. Most people want to focus solely on the creative. They just want to be creating content. They just want to be in front of the camera. I actually find immense joy, weirdly, from the business development. So I really don't mind the managerial role, if you will, of kind of doing those day-to-day tasks, whether that's negotiating, reading contracts. Like I always joked in another life, I'd be an entertainment lawyer. I think honestly in another life, I would just be the best fucking agent. Like I think I'd be an incredible agent. So it's weird because I lean into those things more than most people. But I don't think that I should be used as the everyday example of what creators should be doing because I don't think this is a one-size-fits-all industry. I think that you need to be very clear about where your skills are. And let's be honest, if you're not a good negotiator, if you don't know where to look in contracts to make changes, all of those things, like ultimately you're not going to be able to grow your business and lock in strong brand deals. So I'm just saying this as a word of caution. Like, yes, if I inspire someone to go out on their own and do it themselves because they love it, hell yeah, I love that. All the power to you. I empower you to do that. But it's not to say that I don't have help where it's needed, whether that's through my network of industry experts or through lawyers, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not, it takes a village. Let's just put it that way. These were just some things I wish I knew 10 years ago. When I started, when I had a manager the first time around, it was when I really needed it. And it was through the support and all of those things that I checked off at the beginning of when is it time? I checked all of those off and I was too busy and I was still in school and I couldn't manage everything. And that's when it was really necessary for me. And again, I even had a manager last year. I explored something with a team in LA and they were great, fantastic. I really enjoyed them. But again, they weren't adding enough value for what I was paying them ultimately. And that's where you have to be pretty real with yourself. Like, if I'm going to be paying someone a significant amount of my earnings, they really have to be leveling up your brand. So, sorry, I'm losing my voice again, guys. So, yeah, just be real with yourself. And I hope these tips help you if you are a young creator or an emerging creator. I hope that this gave you a sense of direction today. And you can always DM me or ask me to become your agent. No, I'm totally kidding. Don't do that. Okay, see you in the next episode. Love you. Mean it. Bye.